Hi everyone. I know it has been a while since my last video. I have been tirelessly working on a lot of things, so I'm sorry for that. I know I've received multiple messages that when is my next video coming. So I will try to be more frequent now, or rather, I would say I'll be more frequent. I've started to get help from my team and everything. So I think I'll be on track now. So welcome back. Unfortunately, the time when these videos are coming, I'm about to be 500 followers. So thank you so much for that. Once again, keep sharing and keep sharing it to the people who may benefit from it. But I've also realized this one thing, before I start with anything else, I've realized this one thing that a lot of people or young professional, even experienced professionals, they have started to benefit from these videos, irrespective of the fact that they are not from consulting, they are from different spaces, basically. So, you know, don't think too much about it. Uh, don't have your rule, own your reservations that this person will not add this video might not add value to this friend of mine. Please do share it with them, and then probably if this is not of use, they will discard it. That's okay. They'll not use it. But if it is of use, you will be helping someone out. So I think that's something you should keep in mind and do that. Now, so in our last videos, we have spoken about uh, tracking tools, monitoring tools, active monitoring, passive monitoring, basically. Um, when I left with the idea that I'll start back with FDA or other regulatory bodies. So today, what I'm gonna do is whatever 20-30 minutes. I'm gonna do is introduce FDA to you guys, and in the next video we will start taking section by section and you know fields by fields, basically, right? So what is FDA? FDA is Food and Drug Administration. Uh, FDA is of different or different countries, different geographies. So at the moment, which I'm talking about is the US FDA. So um, it's a body which tracks, or it's a regulatory body which tracks, monitors, you know, activities, laws related to US, basically, policies related to US, and they have different programs, different things, basically. Now, in terms of introduction, FDA is the governing body, right? Uh, and they take decisions. So there are other FDAs also, like India also has an FDA. Then there are other countries who have their own FDAs, basically Food and Drug Administration bodies, basically. But not all FDAs have a uh, like, for example, in India, uh, the body FDA is is not the governing body. CDSCO is the governing body. FDA is the part of uh, Cedisco, and then they have their own functions, basically. So want to make this just make this a difference, and then obviously we will talk about them when we talk about Indian regulatory bodies, basically. So for now, um, let's see what all we have. So this is an FDA website, fda.gov. If you go into the menu section, you will see that what are the features. So report a product problem, contact FDA, guidance, recalls, press announcements, warning letters, advisory committees, right? If you want to see all this in Espanol, you can do that. Then what products they cover: food, drug, medical devices, radiation emitting products, vaccine, blood and biologics, animal and veterinary, cosmetics, tobacco products. So I've always said that FDA has a plethora of information. It's a giant, every website is a giant where you can get anything and everything basically about uh, anything and everything actually. So yeah. Now in terms of the topics about FDA, combination products, regulatory information, safety, emergency preparedness, international programs. So FDA has a lot of collaboration international programs, news and events, training and education basically, inspection and compliances, science and research, information for consumer. I mean, it's related to, so who should visit these pages? Consumers, patients, industry people, healthcare practitioners, and officials basically. So this is how it is divided. Again, I will be closely going through more or less each of these sections, but I'm just making an introduction today, right? This is basically they have spoken about one program basically. They are talking about the Operation Trailblazer, right? So they are saying that strengthening the global competitiveness basically, right? Moving on, some key featured topics FDA has spoken about is recall. Uh, you can report a problem. A problem could be anything. Warning letters, consumer updates, 583s, EUAs, 510Ks, guidance documents, drug databases, and import programs, basically. So you can find these are like feature topics. They keep on changing here, but some remains constant. Now, FDA in action, this is like a featured news or where FDA has taken action, which is guidelines help accelerate cell and gene therapy, right? This is like lesson learned from the roundtable with rare disease advocates. So they must have had a discussions with advocates, basically patient advocates, and these are not our lawyer advocates. These are mostly uh, sure. I mean, calling it an NGO would be a little too much, but yeah, in same lines, the patient advocacy groups are similar to NGOs, but slightly lesser. They talk about patients' needs, what can government do. They also influence policies and all. So yeah, those are the advocates. Then FDA archive 1 year goal in reducing animal health testing. So this has been a policy which was very recently in 2026 launched. Then results from large ever testing of infant formula. So they must have done some infant formula testing. So the results of that was published here. So these are all things which are showing that FDA in action, that FDA has taken action. FDA pre-check pilot program strengthening domestic pharmaceutical manufacturing. So they have some sort of a checkpoint program basically, right? Then FDA announces major step in implementation of real-time clinical trials. This is a very big development. We have spoken about it in our Insights Corner, Octopus's Insights Corner also. FDA has finalized food chemical safety post-market assessment program, and so BHT basically post-market assessment program has been launched. Then yeah, so those are like FDA in action things. Then a very good and important section comes in, which is press announcements. So here you can see only three news. FDA is this is one space where if I critically say FDA needs to improve. Like for example, you can see like the announcement was last done on June 17th, and today is 26th basically. So FDA could have and should have real-time updates of news basically, because it's not the case that after 17 June uh, the news might have not come, or FD might have not approved anything or something like that. There have been obviously things, but yeah, FDA is like any other government organization, whether you talk about India or at the US or any organization. If you talk about a government organization, they are delayed basically. They are lazy. Uh, so yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll go into the details later. Then, FDA dedicated this section as product we regulate. So one thing I'll tell you is this website, I think, has been a recent website because before this, this website was of a different design. This is a recent design, basically. I think FDA has launched. Okay. This is a contact number of FDA. You can see this here. You can put RSS feeds. So we have learned about RSS feeds previously. So you can put in RSS feeds. You can check YouTube channel of FDA. You can check LinkedIn page of FDA, Instagram, X, Facebook, and then this. So yeah, before we talk about that, products we regulate. So, as the name suggests, food and drug. So, food and drug. But then comes medical devices, radiation emitting products. We have discussed vaccines, uh, blood and biologics, animal and veterinary. So, you can check veterinary, animal health products basically here as well. Cosmetics, very, very, lucrative market, but again regulated by FDA. Then tobacco products, and yeah, that's about it. So yes. Now let's also tell you something about that. FDA is meant for a lot of people. It's FDA is not just only for American people or for for only analysts and all. FDA is for more or less everyone. So what they have done is they have translated their website into multiple pages, multiple languages basically. So it is available in Spanish, it's available in Chinese, it's available in Vietnamese, Korean, Tagalog, I think Russian, um, Arabic, Creole, French, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Japanese, Farsi, and obviously we are looking at English. Right. Then there are certain sections. I have opened these sections here. I'll just quickly walk you through. So we have these different sections basically. This is just part of introduction again. Most of them you might not even use. Most of them you might not even use, but it's good to know about them. So first of all, visitor information, how you reach, right? FDA is based out of White Oak, so public transportation, how to get to shuttle, parking space, campus accessibility and security, and then public meeting information, and then meeting with FDA staff, how you can do it. So this is all here, basically, right? And then if I close it, then we have FDA archives. This is amazing. Like uh, so basically, all the material after December 2020 is on the active website, but before 2020, whatever was, it's on the archive platform. And we have studied about this archive platform. We have discussed it in our previous calls, meetings, basically, in the videos, which is basically your Wayback Machine. So if you see here, it has also taken you to the Wayback Machine. So from, I think, from 16 to 20, they have taken, I think, screenshots or, backups basically, right? So it's on the way, you can go on to FDA's archives via Wayback Machine, right? And then we have discussed about it in the past. Closing it, it's saying that, uh, a lot of things about the compliances and all that. So yeah, this is the archive. Now let's go on the top about FDA. So it's been functional more than 100 years basically, right? The motto is basically promoting and protecting your health. Uh, what does FDA does? Each day America can trust the food they eat and medicine they take. Thanks to the US FDA, more than 18,000 employees work at 50 states and then internationally to assure the safety and effectiveness of human and veterinary medicines, biologics, medicine, medical devices. We also regulate the safety of food, cosmetics, devices that emit radiation, and tobacco products. So that's what FDA does. FDA at glance, you can see here, uh, address and everything. And this is a short video about FDA. 10 facts about US FDA that, uh, right. Then we have their mission, organization, budget, contact, what all they regulate, inspect, program preferences, right? And then we have jobs and trainings, uh, partnerships, and doing research with FDA. If you want to do a research with FDA, you can take the information from it. Who we are, basically, who is FDA, basically. So FDA is about its uh, leadership, its staff, and so on and so forth. So it is a group of various different function of people, basically 18,000 people. Right. So what is the leadership, FDA, who is the FDA commissioner, history, and so on and so forth. Then we have a budget section. We have section where we talk about the budgets, reports, and the forms, basically, performance data of the FDA and FDA programs, FDA acronyms and abbreviations. So plain language, it's a part of an act basically, and about this website, accessibility, privacy, and web policies. And then we go to accessibility at FDA. So what is accessible? What media players? What are the sections, laws, guidelines, and all that? You can read about it here. Then we have website policies. You can again read about these policies, what you can use, cannot use. So more or less everything you read on the FDA website is publicly available data. Um, and what you should trust, what you should not trust, or check. So those kind of things are there in these. I have given you certain examples also, right? And like for example, FD name and logo. So you where you can use in the consulting documents and all, where you can use FDA's name, where you cannot. So those are the guidelines which is written over here. So there is a No Fear Act, which talks about the complaints. These are the numbers. Like, and again, as I told you, FDA is not that active after 2024 September. I think they have not given or updated this page, I believe. Right. So yeah, but so far these are the complaints they have received, and then uh, who are the repeat filers? Um, their comparative analysis, like nationality and all that, right? And then all this data. So this is not something very important for us as an analyst, but yeah, this was important just so you know. Then vulnerability disclosure policy. This policy is written over here. You can go through and read it. And there are domains to it basically. Uh, different domains like ACF.gov basically, which is administration of children and families basically. Then within that we have childcare.gov, childwelfare.gov, fatherhood.gov, ACF HHS, human health services.gov, Head Start. So yeah, I mean, they have their own bifurcated organizations basically in terms of vulnerable sections of the society, and like that, and then each of them has their website. So this is a good resource to have. The reason is because you want to read about something, or want to understand. This is one platform where you can go to other platforms basically, right? They have given this, and then they have cybersecurity email addresses that if you have any questions or concerns, you can share to them. Then there is Freedom of Information Act. This is one good place. The reason is because Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, gives us a lot of details, right? Uh, there are certain deals, there are certain regulations. So it's in India we have Right to Information Act. So similar to that, we have Freedom of Information Act basically, or FOIA, and any public record basically, redacted, and some redacted, most of them non-redacted, can be available here via this, and yeah, you can visit the page. Visit the office also, FOIA office for dockets, and these there are dockets for public reading, so you can go there and read that basically. Now, moving on, this is HHS space, Health and Human Services, basically U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So within HHS comes the FDA, right? And then the HHS leader is like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. basically, and these are the other team members, and you can see they're talking about policies, latest news, so on and so forth. Like for example, executive order has been for regenerative agriculture as part of uh, Make America Healthy Again agenda, basically. This is latest news, which was published on 25th of June, yesterday, right? And from Kennedy podcast, basically. And these are the details. Then we have US government.gov, where you can read about taxes and multiple topics, uh, topics of US government, complaints, disability services, and so on and so forth. So this is also something which I've come from there to there. Now, I think I'm done with more or less the introduction part, right? So this is FDA. Go around, and explore it. Assess it. This is a great website, once again, with so many details, so many information points. So go visit that, and come back for the next video, where I will pick up a topic from FDA page, and we'll talk about that. And I will go through. So what trying to do is I'm going to do some 10, 15, half an hour sessions about FDA basically, because FDA is very vast. There are multiple things which one needs to know, and then obviously during that we'll be building uh, multiple scenarios and examples of what I've done basically. So thank you so much for listening to this, and once again, please share it with anyone who might be of interest. I will come back again with more information, and I am sure this time that I'll try to be more regular. Not more regular. I'll try to be regular basically, and what I'm trying to do is I'm going to record 2 to 3 videos at a time, not more than half an hour. The reason is because I can schedule them, and then get on with my other works basically during those weeks. But yes, I understand that you guys are depending on me to tell you about these things. So here I am, and thank you so much for your patience. Please share, and yeah, feel free to reach out. Thank you. Bye bye.